When last we saw Wonder Woman, she stood face to face with potentially her most powerful threat yet. The flaming skeletal sorcerer, Zatara. He is part of Veronica Cale's Suicide Squad, a group of superpowered beings that were deployed to take Diana down. And her crime? Inspiring hope. In this absolute universe, the balance of good and evil is off, and the goddess Gaia assigned Wonder Woman with restoring the balance. What separates this version of Wonder Woman from the others that we've seen before is that she was never raised among the Amazons. The gods cast her into hell as an infant where she was raised by the witch Circe, and Diana grew up in a barren, heartless realm. Yet instead of becoming hardened or cruel, she chose another path. She learned magic, discipline, and restraint, holding on to compassion in a place that had none to spare. When Diana escaped the underworld, she arrived in Gateway City as a protector, defending its citizens from supernatural threats. In doing so, she came to the attention of Veronica Cale, the director of the government's Area 41. This is a secretive military installation dedicated to controlling the supernatural. Cale also stands at the center of this world's version of the Justice League alongside the Joker, Ra's al Ghul, and other villainous elites determined to maintain order through fear. To them, Diana is dangerous because of what she represents, so rather than destroy her outright, Cale set out to dismantle her reputation. Public hearings reframed Diana as a dangerous witch from hell, while Cale unleashed the Suicide Squad on her. During a staged disaster at the Museum Gala celebrating Amazonian culture, the squad was unleashed to turn public opinion against Diana, but the plan collapsed almost immediately. Zatanna, never fully loyal to Cale, broke free from their control and released Diana from a magical binding spell that had been limiting her strength. Instead of becoming the monster she was accused of being, Diana protected civilians, fought off her attackers, and turned Cale's scheme into a public victory. Desperate to regain control of the situation, Cale escalated the conflict by deploying her most dangerous weapon, the sorcerer, Giovanni Zatara. Their battle pushed Diana to her limits. When she tried to escape, she collapsed into the ocean only to be rescued by Pegasus and was carried back to the Heron, her sanctuary hidden deep in the woods. But Zatanna followed her to seek forgiveness. At first, Diana believed she had come to finish what her father had started, and the misunderstanding quickly turned into a clash between witches. Yet when Diana's allies joined the fray, it became clear that strength in this world is never meant to stand alone. Zatanna ultimately revealed the truth. She had bound herself to Diana's magic in order to escape Cale's control, and came now to warn her. Zatara was still under Cale's influence, driven by blood magic and grief, and if he was to be saved, Diana would need to confront him again. True to her nature, Diana accepted, and when she finally returned to face Zatara, she did not come empty-handed. Diana revealed her third lasso, the Troika, a weapon forged from monstrous relics and blessed by ancient magic, said to know the secrets we hide and force us to confront them. Which brings us back to the present. Diana stands before the flaming sorcerer once more and binds him in the lasso. Doing this places the two of them in a deep trance, and they cannot be easily woken. A good chunk of this issue takes place inside of the minds of Diana and Zatara. Here, he is freed from Cale's influence and can behave as he normally would, and he doesn't quite believe what's happening. He talks about how he was forced to make a choice between his daughter Zatanna and his wife Cindella, and it's the guilt over that decision that seems to be driving him. They don't expressly state which decision he made, but I think it's safe to assume that he chose his daughter, given that she's still alive. But then again, in the last issue he did mention how he believed his daughter to be dead, so maybe not, I don't know. Before we can hear much more, Zatanna interrupts, poking her head through a hole in the world. She calls out to her father, assuring him that it's not a trick, she really is alive, and that she can save him. And I like how Zatara's flaming skeletal form flares up when he's anxious or under distress. It kind of presents his curse as an emotional defense mechanism, burning away the man who sacrificed the woman he loved. Still, Zatanna does get through to him, reminding him that if it were a spell, she'd be speaking backwards, and for as much as he blames himself for his family's predicament, he has suffered enough. However, by prematurely removing Zatara from the grip of the Troika, they accidentally leave Diana stranded there, completely exposed. Now it's at this time that Giganta turns up, and she's eager to squish Diana after she so comprehensively knocked her out a few issues ago. But Cale orders her to stop. Instead, she tasks Giganta with capturing Barbara Minerva and taking her back to their base. You'll recall how Zatara had murdered his colleague the Cheetah to get blood to power his magic. And considering that Barbara Minerva is the second Cheetah in the mainline comics, I think it's pretty clear what Cale has in mind. If she can't turn the entire city against Wonder Woman, then one of her closest friends will just have to do. At the same time, Steve Trevor and the Candy Sisters form a coven, praying to Hecate, Diana's patron, for protection, and it seems to be working. Once Zatanna realizes that saving her father may have damned Diana, she steps up to help free her. Zatara notes that Diana's weapons are powerful, loaded with the blood of the gods, myth, and legends. Perhaps Zatanna can break through Diana's trance by taking the form of someone important to Diana, someone that gave her these weapons. Without a second thought, she casts the spell and transforms into Circe, and this is enough to break through to Diana and drag her free. At the same time, Zatara redeems himself by dealing with Giganta. He casts a spell to push her over, and when she doesn't take the hint, he casts her back into her cell at Area 41, much to Cale's frustration. It's clear to her that her entire plan, which she formed after consulting the Joker, a man who always hedges his bets I might add, has fallen apart, so she decides to bring in the big guns. Perhaps magic is just too unpredictable for her. Individuals are too free-spirited, so she sends in a weapon that she has used to subdue Zatara at the height of his flaming spectral powers, the Iron Maiden. Now, there is a character in the mainline universe, Valda the Iron Maiden, who this might be an absolute version of. She was a knight that first appeared in Arak, Son of Thunder, but faced off against Wonder Woman about 5 years ago or so. Here, the Iron Maiden is a gigantic spider-like screeching torture device with 6 legs that towers over everyone. So this could be a continuation of the Absolute line's reinvention of characters, turning them into gigantic abominations, or it could just be a mechanical threat named after an ancient torture device. Personally, I'm leaning towards the latter. Zatara is worried about the threat they face, but Diana tells him and Zatanna not to worry as she dives in headfirst, ready to defend them as the issue ends. Given what we've seen so far, I fully expect the Zatara family to work together with Wonder Woman to defeat the Iron Maiden and potentially confront Cale. And I look forward to seeing more in the next issue. Absolute Wonder Woman 19 is available now from all good comic shops. I would encourage you to research your local comic shop, and if you don't have one, I'm certain there are dozens of good stores nearby that would be happy to mail you your comics. If you're opposed to the idea of cluttering up your home with comic books, then you can get this one digitally from places like Amazon as well as Neon Ichiban. Personally, I prefer physical comics, but I do like the convenience of having thousands of comic books accessible from my phone. But you do what works best for you. For those that are invested in my physical collection, this week Marvel released their version of the Spider-Man and Superman crossover with all new stories. Yes, once again, crippled by indecision over which cover to get, I decided to just order them all. Yes, I am part of the problem. Next time, I'll be back very soon with a video about Absolute Flash 14 where Wally and Linda try to escape from the clutches of the Mirror Master. And next week there aren't any new Absolute comics coming out, so I could take the week off, but what I thought I might do is a quick video about a really cool comic that I came across recently. If you're really engaged in my community, then you might have seen a post I made asking you to guess what was in the mystery box. There were some good guesses and some not so good. But I'm happy to now reveal that it is a copy of Detective Comics number 68 published in 1942, the second appearance of Two-Face. But there's something different about this comic, and if you're interested, I'd love to tell you all about it. Hope to see you then.